Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of The Big Conversation. My name is Arif, and I will be your host today. Today, we'll be covering a very interesting topic, which is an area of focus to almost all countries, companies, and individuals, and that is cybersecurity. Today with me, we have our guest, Dr. Wael Qanoon, the Regional Managing Director of the Cyber Digital Business for Thales. Doctor, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine.
Doctor, can you start off with telling us a little bit more about Thales and what you do in the Middle East and the region?
Okay. So Thales, we're in a technology international leader with the three main activities: defense and security, aeronautics and space, and digital identity and cybersecurity. And basically covering critical systems, providing critical systems into the defense and the civil realms. We've been in UAE for more than 50 years. Yeah, very proud of it. And we're continuing our journey within the UAE.
MashaAllah. Quite extensive. Throughout these years, cybersecurity is a challenging task. If you allow me to ask you, what are the primary cybersecurity challenges that are, that affect the critical infrastructures in the Middle East, and how will you address?
Okay, so it's actually like a multifaceted topic. So first, of course, we are living through a radical digital transformation of our life, of the country, of the way we live, right? And this digital transformation, which is a great thing, it brings some, let's say, cybersecurity challenges. Because of this digital transformation, new cyber attacks now are possible, which was not the case, let's say, in the 90s or the beginning of this century. Think about it like now you're doing everything online, from managing your electricity and water account, your banking account, almost everything, right?
Yeah.
And because of this, which facilitated life a lot, this created some opportunity to new attacks, which was not possible. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the evolution of the threat. Because it becomes interesting, more people, more bad actors are getting interested into this. So for various reasons, some of them for monetary, to try to win some money, to gain some money, some for state-related things, some for hacktivists, what we call, which is basically just to bring their opinion about a topic like climate warming or whatever. But they use these attacks to bring more their, their messages. And they are becoming smarter. The complexity of the attacks is becoming really much more complicated because they are building more expertise and they are creating new and novel ways to attacks, basically.
Yes. With this day and age, I think everybody has experienced that in a way or another. Yes, they have. Being here for 5 decades, if I can say, there is a lot of knowledge transfer being in the region. So I believe this knowledge is transferred to the younger generations, the local community, and Emirati talents. Can you just talk about the Emirati talents and the impact that they would have on this very interesting field?
Indeed. We've been long in the country, long time. And Thales focus a lot about what we call localization, doing activities in country, like all the critical systems, all the projects that we are delivering, our activities rely heavily and more on localization into the country and not just importing stuff from the outside, and doing things, of course, thanks and via local and Emirati's resources. That's why we are hiring more and more. Last year we even hired 30% more Emirati than our average. We want to continue in that path, and we are involving them in all our critical projects so that we can materialize this knowledge transfer to the Emiratis.
That's excellent. They're creating that interest in the private sector. I mean, you're helping that a lot.
Exactly.
Okay, if I can ask, what are the specific roles in enhancing the cybersecurity efforts in the Middle East in general? I mean, what does Thales do to enhance these efforts?
So as a Thales, so of course we're a private company, so we do let's say many initiatives to enhance the overall posture of the cybersecurity of the nation. First is we provide state-of-the-art solutions and resources, from encryption, from ways to detect these attacks, to respond these attacks. We were a international cyber leader, and we are providing these solutions into the market. Maybe like just as a figure, more than 90% of all the banking transactions is secured and encrypted thanks to our technology. Second, we capitalize a lot on the public-private partnerships, working with the governmental instances in order to provide our input and our expertise in a lot of stuff like how to do cyber in some critical verticals. And last but not least, we have this unique and great partnership with DESC, which Dubai Electronic Security Center. It's called CyberNode, which basically it's a unique asset to provide cybersecurity training, awareness and specialized training to the local ecosystems and, of course, for Emiratis.
Global firms. Now, Thales is a global firm. You're playing on a lot of fronts. Yeah. Cybersecurity is one of them. And being here in Dubai Airport Free Zone, the collaboration that you have with the Emiratization initiative in Dubai, how do you see that serving Thales, and how do you see that in serving, building a talent pool, a local talent pool?
Yes. So, I mean, for Thales and specifically for cybersecurity, we have a very, let's say, serious challenges about human resources. Cybersecurity skilled professional and skilled resources are very scarce. I think we always hear about it like there is more opening in cybersecurity than the number of applicants. Yes. And because of this, we anticipate things. How we anticipate things is by relying and by training Emiratis and try to retain them, of course, because of this huge competition on the resources. So to train them and keep them in the company. And we do this by providing like a very clear career path, involvement in critical and in hands-on projects so that they learn by doing, and of course the classic cybersecurity trainings and bringing them up to speed in the classic ways. And because of this, successfully we managed to build a good pool for Thales internally. And the interesting thing is I have some examples where Emiratis join us for cybersecurity, and at certain level of their career, they want to do other things in Thales because we do so many things from defense, some space. Yeah. And this is the nice part of about Thales and for Emiratis, because they can do cyber, then they can go to aviation, then they go to space, then they go to defense, and basically they as if they change their roles, but while staying in the same company.
Well, that's an interesting career path.
Yes, yes.
Especially what you're doing here. Okay, now about technology. Your business is mostly about technology.
Correct.
And the advancement of technology is not making your job any easier here. Yeah, AI coming into the picture, ChatGPT coming into the picture. I believe that has a big impact on cybersecurity.
Indeed.
Yes. So what can you tell us about that?
Okay, so there's a lot of new emerging, let's say, technological advances. We hear a lot about IoTs, about AI, etc. For us, these are challenges, but most and foremost, these are opportunities. maybe we can talk about two topics, IoT and AI, because these are the kind of recurrent topics. Let's start with the basic. What's IoT? IoT stands for Internet of Things. And this term was coined for a simple reason. Till recently, or let's remember the 90s or the 90s years or around years 2000, Internet was made for people to communicate. So basically, someone sending an email and on the other side, someone is reading this email, right?
Yes.
Or IRC or the chatting, if you remember, right?
Yes.
It's about people communication. Then Internet started to be used for things to communicate, for objects to communicate, which is basically, let's say, instead of a human sending a message to another human, a sensor like a thermometer is sending information to another object or to another machine like an AC. So that's why we started to have what we call Internet of Things in contrast to Internet of People.
Okay.
Which is great because it allows to automate things, this drives the digital transformation, makes solutions more smarter. But downside of it is it creates a lot of, it increases what we call the attack surface. So these bad guys, they can now try to compromise these objects. They can detect, you open the fridge if it's a smart fridge, and it means that you are at home at this stage, at this moment of time. So this is, but of course, it facilitates life. It's not about like creating fear at all, but we need to be aware and we need to create these, the right measures to put in place. So let's talk about AI. Fundamentally, AI is about automating things.
Yes.
Think about like at individual level, we use AI like ChatGPT to automate, for instance, to draft an email, to draft or to synthesize some information. That's really the power of AI, automating things, making things more accurate and in a much faster way. Unfortunately, the bad guys figured it out, say, I can now use AI to automate how new attacks can be prepared and delivered.
Yes, and that is what people are facing today.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the bad guys that you refer to are somewhere else where the AI is doing their business.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. You remember, for instance, these phishing emails?
Oh yes.
At certain point was quite easy. I was saying quite easy to spot them because they always include some mistake, something awkward in the email, right?
Yeah.
Because it was done by a human who does not really, maybe is not perfect and always can make mistake. But now, because they are delegating this to AI, the email is so perfect. Even sometimes too perfect, huh?
Yes.
And this is what makes the attacks more, powerful. By automating very fast this email or these attacks, and they can deliver it to a higher number of people. So that's really the impact on the cyber. Luckily, on the defense side or on the good people side, we can use the same thing to automate how we detect these attacks.
Excellent, because you have given examples of a normal, simple life, how AI is playing a role now, playing a big role in defense. I believe that is very, very critical.
Exactly. Because we need to keep up with the game. So before relying morely on the human aspect to detect, now we can delegate and automate the attack. The detection and the response process to these AI algorithms and systems to basically to keep up with the game. Huh?
Well, of course, I just hope that the machine learning doesn't go to that level that it learns more than us. So,
Indeed.
Okay, now speaking about AI and these developments, technology is advancing so fast. Yeah. And this technology, again, Thales being a leader in this field, how can we make sure that the newer generation, the Emirati talents who are working on your team, how can they lead this in future days or in the future events? How do you see that happening?
So, of course, I mean, by, let's say, getting involved, by doing things. So, I mean, once, when Emirati, let's say, they are joining Thales, we always try to figure out what's fitting their personality, their career aspiration, and to put them on a long-term track. And as you said, because of these emerging technologies, in a way or another, they need to learn about these environments. Even if they are on the sales side or on the engineering side, on the technical side, on the service side. And by getting exposed to these technologies from design through our Center of Excellence and our labs in UAE and worldwide, they can acquire this knowledge and they can get this kind of like a concrete sense of it, in contrast to this kind of theoretical knowledge about it.
So it's a continuous learning process. It never stops. You need to be updated continuously with every new development that's happening.
Of course, I mean, of course, and this is a global, of course, challenge, not only for Emiratis but for anyone. How to keep up with the latest trends and how to adapt. I mean, from Thales' perspective, our solutions to the real needs, and at, let's say, a human level, how these people get knowledge about this. We do a lot of internal, for instance, events and trainings in order to bring everyone up to speed. But it's a challenge because the world is changing very fast.
In your history here being in DAFZ, okay, you've been in DAFZ for quite a long time, let's say 25 years.
Yes.
I remember we were celebrating the 25 years not so long ago. So you have a lot of initiatives that have been put in place, a lot of successful initiatives put in place that have had an impact. Can you share with us at least one of those initiatives which Thales has done?
Yes, sure. And one of the great initiatives that we've done in the past, I'm very proud of, is the cybersecurity awareness days and campaigns that we've deployed with Dubai Airport Free Zone and with the DESC, Dubai Electronic Security Center.
Yes.
And these are very powerful measures because in cybersecurity, people dimension is kind of the weakest link.
True.
Always cybersecurity incidents, they happen at certain point because someone did a mistake, someone didn't pay attention, or because it was so convincing that people sometimes make mistakes. And that's why we focus not only on the technology part, but as well on the people part. And that's why we delivered this cybersecurity events.
Yes.
And it was very successful. A lot of people came.
I do remember that. Yes.
Yes.
The initiative was very successful, and the audience was very much impressed.
Yes.
The whole initiative and the whole session was very informative. That it kept people informed on what actions to take, how they can take it. Overlooking these oversights, because oversights are usually the reason where people fall into it.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they become at risk.
Yes. And the interesting thing is that we had a lot of follow-up after, because people it was like a eye-opener. So whether Thales or as well our partner Dubai Electronic Security Center, a lot of entities or people wants to learn more to, okay, what should be done now? How can I enhance my cybersecurity posture? And this is a good thing because people start the journey and then they can really deploy whatever is needed.
That's excellent. I remember this initiative which was partnered with Thales and DESC, and it was quite informative, and it made a lot of companies in the Airport Free Zone very much aware of cybersecurity. But I don't believe it stops there. I believe this is something that we should continue doing, especially that Dubai Airport Free Zone has a very good relation with Thales. We consider you one of our anchor partners, let's say.
Thank you.
Especially that you've been here for 25 years with us. And we would love to continue this collaboration with Thales. To the audience, though, what would you suggest, or what would you have as an advice to the audience?
For me, I mean, to start the journey, even a baby steps.
Yep.
Not to get, let's say, afraid of the topic. First, cybersecurity is a business enabler.
Yes.
Because of this digital transformation, doing things right will protect the business.
Of course.
So first step, getting informed through maybe simple awareness, asking around, start to learn about the upcoming regulations and the existing regulations that is being published in order to protect the business. Yes. And second, once you're kind of ready for the next step, ask for support. It can be asking support from the private sector, from the public sector, like Dubai Electronic Security Center or the National Cyber Council, or recruiting the right resources in order to keep an eye on this topic in your business.
That is crucial.
Yes.
That is crucial.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Well, Doctor, we are very happy to have you here with us today.
The pleasure is mine.
Again, I thank you for your time and the insightful information that you have given us about cybersecurity and the cyberspace. So thank you everyone for watching this episode of The Big Conversation, and stay tuned for the next one.